Today I'm going to talk about my first experience with computers. It was at my grandma's house. She had a computer before my family did. I had to go to her house a couple times a week after school when both my parents were working, so there was really nothing to do at her house except go on the computer, and she was usually busy with stuff, so I just kind of went on the computer. She had a couple of games for me, and other than that, I just kind of explored the computer, clicked on different things, looked around, and that really led me to be able to actually use it, just kind of from trial and error and just exploring all the different possibilities with the computer.
Do you remember any programs in particular that you were engaged with the most on your grandma's computer?
Um, I started off just playing games. She had a couple of educational games for me, I guess, like Oregon Trail and Math Blaster, which were kind of like a history and a math, like kind of learning games. And that taught me how to, just do the basic things with the computer, type, use the mouse, stuff like that. It was like a good starting point for learning to use technology like that.
Do you think it was educational? Like, did you learn like math stuff and reading?
Yeah, I think it was my first experience with how technology can kind of transcend into like academic stuff, and I, those programs I think helped with school. They're stuff that made me want to learn even when I wasn't at school. It was better than watching TV, stuff like that. Right.
So, do you see technology basically dominating education, like how kids, interact with, like, say, writing essays or like writing little sentences? Do you see like technology basically helping them push forward?
Yeah, definitely. Like at first, like what I was just talking about, the only things that computers really had on them that were educational, you could type stuff on them, but they just had games, learning games. But now I feel like school and technology are pretty much combined. They go hand in hand. Like when I was in elementary school, we hand wrote all our papers. We barely even used calculators or anything like that. And now I feel that all schools are ran by technology. Like I haven't handwritten a paper in years. Everything's typed now. All the math classes, have 30 graphing calculators in them for all the kids to use, and now pretty much education runs on technology.
So, what are the strong ties between education and technology, them coming together?
Um, well, it's pretty much at a point now where you're at a distinct disadvantage if you don't have the technology that other kids are available to. Like when you're young, if you have computers in your school, you're obviously going to learn how to use them better, and that's going to help you your entire life. And it's a good thing that um, schools have technology because it gives kids a big chance to learn. But stuff like who has a computer at home, it really makes more of a divide. Like kids with money and kids who go to school districts with money have big advantages. I mean, they've always had advantages, but now with the ties with technology can be so expensive that it kind of gives them even more of a boost. Like if you don't, a school with two computers, the kids aren't going to learn how to use computers as well as schools with a computer for every student. So it kind of just widens the gap between schools that have always had benefits and schools that haven't.
Do you see like classrooms from around the globe like having computers, especially with the whole digital divide between the global north and the global south?
I don't know. That's a hard thing to think about. Like, I assume technology is going to keep moving forward, so technology we're looking at now might be quite cheap in a few years, and maybe that will allow some of the places that can't have it now to have it in a few years. But by that point, those pieces of technology might not be as important anymore, and the more well-off schools might have bigger and better things already that really, and the divide will probably still be there. Stuff needs to be done, like sending computers to schools like that. It's because it's going to be a definite problem in the future.